Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys had a great trading day as Palantir experiences an immense breakout up over 30%, testing a very critical level of resistance that if this momentum and buying pressure continues into tomorrow's trading session, PLTR could likely test the 25s, even possibly touching the 30s. Is Palantir about to have its Nvidia moment for 2024. We're going to be breaking down everything you need to know about what happened in Q4, what the catalysts are for the guidance going into 2024, and things that could be happening here in the short term. If you are a new or a returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos. Thank you guys so much for supporting a smaller content creator. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Always do your own research out there in the world of the AI stocks during this AI boom. Now, what we see with PLTR, gap created right here. We saw this in the after hours. After Q4 earnings were released, Palantir was sitting around the 19s. Trading opens up. You see Palantir is closing right now, had a lot of momentum coming in at a critical resistance point. The reason being is because last year in November, Palantir hit a year-to-date high at 21.85. That's this right here. Look where Palantir is right now, closing at 21.87. What we do have in terms of trading volume here is 421 million. Holy Toledo. Crazy over the actual average trading volume that we typically see for PLTR. Toggling over here to the options, you have over 100,000 in terms of call implied volatility and volume just at the $22 strike price, 72,000 at the $23 strike price, 20,000 at the $24 strike price. In terms of the actual options, lots of volatility here. On the bullish and the bearish side, and that's with the volatility that could be coming with this gap, we could see a lot of changes here in the short-term market. But talking about Palantir, one of the biggest catalysts that we saw, and I think why we're seeing this explosion across PLTR, really getting into the limelight here, this comes from the Q4 transcripts right from Alex Carr, saying there's really so much to say, and the performance of the U.S. commercial is extraordinary, some would say bombastic, and that the numbers that just fly off the screen right here are 70% year-over-year growth in Q4. With over 100 contracts worth over $1 million, you got 37 contracts worth over $5 million, and 21 over 20 or 10 million right here. That is almost inconceivable to do that many contracts given the way that the product used to be. And what he's talking about used to be here is they've really had more of a secret relationship with the governmental contracts. A lot of people really didn't know about what was happening with Palantir. Now, as they made this reversal into the private sector, we've seen an immense amount of bullishness and people talking about, Seeking Alpha article right here, talking about, is the Nvidia moment approaching? And as the stock is expected to experience a breakout and reach higher trading levels with these technical indicators that are even pointing towards a bullish momentum. And looking at this breakout that could be coming, really specifically looking at the RSI, looking at the full stochastic and other technical gauges that are turning upward, implying a shift to continue towards the momentum. What are we talking about here? Seeking Alpha, this article agrees that it's going to retest this $20 to $22 resistance point, and that we could see a breakout to 25 or higher, as Palantir has done a great job consolidating. Where does Palantir typically like to consolidate? We've seen before we've entered into the 20s, right here, between the 13s and the 15s. That is where Palantir is comfortable, and it's getting out of its comfort zone right now and talking about what is that Nvidia moment. And this is when Nvidia guided to much better than expected revenue and profitability for its Q2 2024 quarter. I mean, just look what's happened to Nvidia already. You see Nvidia right here, back here in January, it was at 481. Now testing the $700 level of resistance. And like I said, the full spectrum AIP platform right here, and with the boot camps that allows these customers, we've talked about this in many videos, allowing them to trial Palantir softwares, and they claim that can bring a zero to a use case within the potential clients in the matter of 5 days. And talking about that, the excellent guidance that we've had for 2024 mixed and combined with the actual commercial revenue growth and of 70%, and the commercial revenue, you see 32% year over year, is that revenues total are between 2.65 and 2.68 billion, with US commercial revenue right here representing a growth rate of at least 40%. That's the guidance for 2024. They're still expecting another at least 40% of growth. On top of that, free cash flow of $800 to $1 billion. We quickly referenced this in yesterday's video, and Alex Karp even said during the actual earnings transcript that this comes important when times do get tough in the market, that Palantir can survive. It has a lot of money on hand, zero debt basically, to help invest to rebuild, not rebuild, but keep continuing to innovate in its technologies, but also have enough cash flow, like I said, when times do get tough, when we see more of a bearish market sentiment. And the GAAP operating income each quarter is continuing to increase. We've seen this, the GAAP net income loss, Palantir is becoming more profitable. And you can see the GAAP earnings per share was 4 cents, up 3 cents year over year. In terms of the actual operating margin right here is surging. You can see operating margin was 11%, up 1,500 basis points year over year, and that this could increase more than expected regarding its profitability. Also, in addition, you have big media outlooks, Wall Street Journal, actually coming in here with a bullish article, talking about how Palantir stock soars after the company posts record products, touts surging AI demand. And what this is really highlighting, and what we see here, our analysts are starting to revamp the stock price targets. And what we're seeing is Palantir coming from sitting on the sidelines, sitting on basically waiting to get that mainstream attention. And I think that event is happening now. And what we've seen, what analyst Ives even says right here, Dan Ives from Webush, he says that last night, Palantir, when this company went off of a Broadway play to a prime time theater right off of Times Square, right under the bright lights, and people and analysts are starting to lift their price targets. We see Ives lifted the price target by $5 to $30 a share. Talking about that, we also believe that the inclusion in the S&P 500 is on the near-term horizon, given the pace of profitability. In addition, you also have Radke added $10 to the price target, taking it to $20 a share. So even these analysts that are even showing more of a lower expectation for Palantir stock price, they are even raising the lower end of their price targets. Talking about this, but we've seen lots of performance happening with Palantir. In terms of that, this continues to be unrelenting. That's what Alex Karp is saying for the demand for the large language models. Now, with that, as we see, these are all good things. We do need to analyze any pullbacks for the speculation here because the volatility is very heightened. Right now, with a lot of trendiness behind Palantir, there is a large boom within the AI industry. Could this continue as investors want to get a piece of that AI pie, or will there eventually be a fizzle out? This needs to be all taken with a grain of salt. However, people that are out there making money right now, big accomplishments for those people. And people that are waiting on the sidelines to see what will happen, well, guess we'll see what happens. That's all that I have for you guys. Take care. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys later.